And hello everyone, Peter here. Time to do another You Send It, I Art. Is this bothering anyone else? This stuff growing out of my face? I'll be right back. Anyways, what we're going to do is another You Send It, I Art It video. Believe it or not, I have a box right here, which I have already opened, but not unpackaged. Fear not. Look at that. All right, there's a long-winded letter here, my favorite kind. Dear Peter, when you first introduced the You Send It, I Draw It idea, I knew it would be a hit, and the debut installment was from, you truly and such. I want to, but sending a batch of any hope that's speed. That's how you do speed reading, by the way. You just read half of every fifth word. You just kind of infer the rest. And then this part's in cursive, so obviously that's not meant for me. Let's see what we've got. We got some pencils, charcoal pencils. Very cool. We've got some brushes. Very cool. An eraser that has an ear on it. What in the world? Look at this little eraser that looks like an ear. That's so cute. I probably haven't used an eraser in 40 or 50 years, but I like it. It's very cold to the touch. Looks like we have some tube. This is fancy. Now, tube watercolors, that is fancy. Okay, that's about as good as it gets. Watercolors in a tube. When I was little, I used a little tablets, like little pieces of chalk and a little thing, you know. But now, these days, you grow up, you use them in tubes, you squeeze them out, let it dry out. That's good. Oh, and wow, a Copic Chow marker. Chow. This other Copic one must have come with this also. These are alcohol-based markers. So they have a certain a waftiness to them, and I invite you to enjoy that with your markers. These are nice markers, the Copics. Wow, thank you. And so I began delving right into the art. To be honest, at first I planned on going and doing what I always do, which is, of course, using just the marker, maybe the green I think it was duck blue. I was just going to use the marker at first to draw, because I was just going to draw lines. I wanted to settle back down into my comfort zone and just draw lines, and maybe draw some blue lines. And then maybe the daring part of my plan was to maybe use some of the charcoal pencil afterwards and shade some of my lines that I had drawn. But I always draw lines, so I thought, wait a second, let me grab these nice tube watercolors and hop right into those. Let me do those. Okay, so I did. I let myself do that. All right, so watch this. You can watch that. But one thing I want to explain here in this video is how to, is like just a little tutorial for you, just a little tutorial from my experience, how to set up maybe the best, most efficient homebrew studio for making art of any kind. I'll walk you through the steps. I'll enumerate them one by one and describe them, and then you can look into it and go through the steps one by one on your own, and hopefully at the end of going through those steps, you'll have a good space for creating art and making incredible things out of practically nothing. just your art supplies, right? That'd be cool. All right, so here's the steps I'm going to give you. All right, 1, let the remains steep in a solution of vinegar and dish soap for no less than 48 hours. 2, you're going to want to carefully lay the blame out on a table. You might want a tarp or a plastic tablecloth. 3, set up 5 or 6 2-liter beakers from smallest to largest and fill them halfway with salt water. 4, cut some lengths of surgical tubing and run it from beaker to beaker, making sure each part of it reaches the bottom of each one, starting in the kitchen sink and ending out the patio window for drainage, of course. 5, going to want to disconnect the landline. 6, connect the airline. 7, consider your exits and escape routes. Look, where will you go in the event of a catastrophic artistic meltdown? Think ahead. 8, tie your shoes, sit down, buckle up, and perk up. 9, examine the structural integrity of your desk. Consider placing another leg in the center for more strength, or incorporating Gorilla Glue somehow. 10, trim your fingernails. Collect the trimmings in an urn or vase. We'll come back to this later. 11, wash your hands again. Do it right this time, please. 12, realize that there's another version of yourself in a nearby parallel universe doing just a little bit better at you than this, and that maybe that person and version of yourself should be your most serious competition. 13, make sure to wear gloves and an apron and goggles and a fez this whole time for safety and style. 14, kick out the ladder after you climb up. This is a time for commitment and forward motion. 15, combine the rest of the liquid chemicals in your largest Erlenmeyer flask and the rest of the dry ones with a mortar and pestle. Then combine all of these in the washing machine set to delicates. 16, after a couple years, we will come and change your shirt and your pants, and we'll give you a sponge bath, and you'll nod appreciatively. 17, if you have any pets, you should pet them to the best of your ability at this point in the process. 18, the ideal setup will have 3 or 4 coffee makers within arm's reach, and a toilet even closer. Scrub the walls with activated charcoal to keep them from getting pimples. 19, set your watches to Greenwich Mean Time. Set your pencil on the paper. Set your mind on greater things. Set me down, please. Set this tape on fire when you are done listening to it. 20, this is the final point. If at any point you find the tongue in your mouth isn't your own, wrestle politely with it. And if it wins, it gets to stay. Those are the rules. So there you have the points. Hope you paid attention. And the rest is common sense, and you'll figure it out as you go. It'll all kind of fall into place. Those are just the basic steps to get you started. And I believe, and I'm excited for you to get started just making incredible things. I'm excited to see it. So good luck, everybody. And I'll see you on the other side. All right. Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Do you even work here? Okay.